Everything begins in the imagination. What you accept inwardly, what you consent to as true in the silence of your soul, must show itself in the theater of your world. There is no other way. You are not here to wait for things to change. You are here to assume the change already happened. So I tell you now, walk through life as if everything always works out for you. Not because you see evidence of it today, not because others agree, but because you know in the deep stillness of your being that what you imagine and persist in imagining must become your reality. Live from the end. Feel the joy before the facts justify it. Speak as one who already possesses. Move as one who already knows. Do not concern yourself with how or when. Those are not your business. Your only task is to accept the wish fulfilled as your present truth. When you feel the reality of your desire so fully, so vividly, that it eclipses the current facts, then you have planted the seed in the only soil that matters. You are not trying to make things happen. You are not chasing. You are choosing. You are assuming. And the world, though it may resist for a moment, will conform. It has no choice. It mirrors the state you occupy. If you dwell in lack, the world reflects lack. If you dwell in peace, peace surrounds you. If you dwell in the certainty that all things are always working out in your favor, then even the chaos will become the path to your good. You do not need permission. You do not need proof. You only need to dare to claim that what you desire is already yours. Can you persist in that knowing, even when appearances contradict it? That is the measure of faith. That is the creative act. Assume the best, and the best must come. Assume harmony, and watch even the broken pieces rearrange themselves to fit the story you are living from. You are not hoping, you are knowing. You are not pleading, you are selecting. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are aligning with the truth that your inner world is first cause. Everything you experience begins as a feeling, as a belief, as a decision made in silence. Choose wisely, choose boldly, choose as if the universe is already conspiring in your favor, because it is. Feel the reality of your chosen outcome now. Let it fill you, let it thrill you, let it steady you. Because when you act from that place, when you speak, move, rest, and rise from the assumption that everything always works out for you, you step into the law. And the law never fails. Reasoned about confident living principles for 4 seconds. Everything begins in the imagination. What you accept inwardly, what you consent to as true in the silence of your soul, must show itself in the theater of your world. There is no other way. You are not here to wait for things to change. You are here to assume the change already happened. So I tell you now, walk through life as if everything always works out for you. Not because you see evidence of it today, not because others agree, but because you know, in the deep stillness of your being, that what you imagine and persist in imagining must become your reality. Live from the end. Feel the joy before the facts justify it. Speak as one who already possesses. Move as one who already knows. Do not concern yourself with how or when. Those are not your business. Your only task is to accept the wish fulfilled as your present truth. When you feel the reality of your desire so fully, so vividly, that it eclipses the current facts, then you have planted the seed in the only soil that matters. You are not trying to make things happen. You are not chasing, you are choosing, you are assuming, and the world, though it may resist for a moment, will conform. It has no choice. It mirrors the state you occupy. If you dwell in lack, the world reflects lack. If you dwell in peace, peace surrounds you. If you dwell in the certainty that all things are always working out in your favor, then even the chaos will become the path to your good. You do not need permission, you do not need proof, you only need to dare to claim that what you desire is already yours. Can you persist in that knowing even when appearances contradict it? That is the measure of faith. That is the creative act. Assume the best, and the best must come. Assume harmony, and watch even the broken pieces rearrange themselves to fit the story you are living from. You are not hoping, you are knowing. You are not pleading, you are selecting. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. You are aligning with the truth that your inner world is first cause. Everything you experience begins as a feeling, as a belief, as a decision made in silence. Choose wisely, choose boldly. Choose as if the universe is already conspiring in your favor, because it is. Feel the reality of your chosen outcome now. Let it fill you, let it thrill you, let it steady you. Because when you act from that place, when you speak, move, rest, and rise from the assumption that everything always works out for you, you step into a law that is unyielding, unfathomable, and ever true. Imagine for a moment that you are a sculptor, and your life is the masterpiece waiting to be revealed. The raw material of your existence is infinite in potential, and every thought you conceive is the chisel that shapes the emerging form. With each stroke of your consciousness, you are sculpting not just an external reality, but a vibrational echo that resounds throughout the cosmos. The secret is to carry within you the sense that every element, every particle of the seemingly random occurrences is moving in harmony to bring forth your vision. In this grand theater of life, your inner dialogue and unwavering conviction are the forces that align even the most disparate elements into perfect order. Consider the power of assumption as an act of creation. Every time you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with that deeper current of truth. It is as if you are opening a channel through which the infinite potential of the universe flows effortlessly into your experience. Let your thoughts be bold and unwavering. In every moment, if a shadow of doubt crosses your mind, gently replace it with the vibrant truth of your assumption. The day-to-day trials and moments of uncertainty are mere transient clouds passing across the vast sky of your consciousness. They do not have the power to obscure the brilliance of your chosen reality when you keep your vision focused. Reflect upon the nature of time itself. It is a construct, a tapestry woven by the interplay of past, present, and future. Yet within the realm of the imagination, time becomes fluid. When you live as if your desires are already realized, you awaken a force that transcends conventional chronology. You begin to perceive the inner and outer worlds as inseparable mirrors of one another. That which exists in the unseen realm finds its way into the seen, effortlessly, surely, and with profound synchronicity. This understanding liberates you from the confines of waiting and reacting, allowing you to engage with life from the confident knowing of an outcome already manifest. Every experience, every circumstance is an echo of your inner world. When you see a reflection of joy, it is not a random event, it is a sign, a confirmation that the seed of your thought has matured. When obstacles appear, they too are but temporary challenges that invite you to refine your vision and bolster your conviction. It is in these moments of apparent difficulty that you are called to see beyond the surface and trust in the deeper workings of life. Embrace these instances, for they are the subtle nudges guiding you back to your creative power. In every trial lies a hidden blessing, an opportunity for growth and a chance to witness the unfolding of your highest vision. When you walk through life with the heart attuned to the vibration of a fulfilled desire, you cultivate a profound sense of peace. This peace is not the absence of movement or change, but the harmonious rhythm that arises when you are one with the law of your creative power. Do not be dismayed by the temporary appearances that seem to stand in opposition to your inner state. Rather, continue to hold steadfast in your assumption, knowing that every moment is as it should be, even if it appears contrary. The universe operates in mysterious ways, often revealing its genius in the minutest details that, when viewed from the perspective of faith, become unmistakable signs of a plan already set in motion. The art of living as if everything always works out for you also means embracing the unknown with the spirit of adventure. Step boldly into the realm of infinite possibility, for it is there that the miraculous resides. When you let go of the need to control every outcome and instead trust in the natural unfolding of your desires, you tap into a reservoir of creativity and resourcefulness that surpasses all logic. Every encounter, every seeming coincidence is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life. Your role is not to micromanage each detail, but to keep the vision vibrant and your inner state resolute. Within you lies a power that transcends the ordinary, the power to convert the imagined into reality, the belief into manifestation. Let your mind be your sanctuary, where dreams are nurtured, and your heart the fertile ground from which they bloom. In this inner space, every imagined experience carries the weight of actuality. Every whispered wish holds the promise of fulfillment. When doubts intrude, remind yourself that the certainty of your inner conviction is the guiding light that transforms potential into perfection. Your life is a reflection of the depth of your thoughts, and by choosing thoughts of abundance, positivity, and love, you create a reality that mirrors these qualities. It is important to recognize that every moment is an invitation to choose the state of awareness that aligns with your highest good. You might encounter situations that test your resolve, moments when the tangible evidence appears to contradict the reality you have firmly planted within. It is precisely in those instances that you must hold fast to the power of your assumption. Reaffirm your inner truth with deliberate and thoughtful repetition. Just as a musician tunes an instrument, make it a habit to tune your thoughts to the melody of your desired outcome. Every affirmation, every mental rehearsal is a step that brings you closer to the ultimate expression of your inner vision. Allow your life to be a continuous demonstration of faith in the unseen. Every action you take should be imbued with the confidence that your desires are already fulfilled. This is not a mere escapism, but rather a profound understanding that life is a process of eternal fulfillment, where every moment is an opportunity to experience the joy of creation. As you navigate the twists and turns of existence, carry with you an unwavering trust in the inherent benevolence of life. You are the artist of your fate, and the palette from which you choose the colors of your existence is limitless. In every moment, know that you are co-creating with a universal force that delights in the blossoming of your dreams. Cast aside the notion that external circumstances dictate your state of being. Instead, realize that your inner state is the true architect of your reality. Each time you declare internally that everything works out perfectly, you are not simply uttering words, you are engaging in a sacred practice that shapes the fabric of your experience. Let that declaration resonate within your mind and soul until it becomes an inseparable part of who you are. In doing so, you invite a force into your life that is both gentle and inexorable, capable of transforming the most challenging situations into stepping stones toward your realization. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, each wave a representation of an infinite possibility. With every pulse of the tide, there is a rhythm to the universe that whispers, everything is coming together in your favor. When you allow yourself to be immersed in that vastness, you begin to understand that the energy of the universe is not scattered or chaotic. It is a deliberate, intelligent force that works through you to manifest your highest desires. With each breath, you can feel the pulse of that creative energy, drawing you ever closer to the state in which your dreams are already fulfilled. All that is required is for you to trust, to believe, and to act from a place of certainty. Embrace this truth wholeheartedly, that the essence of your being is not confined by the limitations of the external world, but rather is a dynamic, ever-evolving expression of the infinite. The power that lies within you is not diminished by circumstances or setbacks. It grows stronger each time you persist in the face of adversity. Every challenge you encounter is not an obstacle, but a gateway, a passage through which you must travel to reach the fuller, richer expression of your true self. In these moments, remember that the journey is as meaningful as the destination, and that every experience contributes to the unfolding of a grander story, one in which you are both the author and the hero. There is a sublime comfort in knowing that the process of life is, at its core, a dialogue between your inner visions and the outer world. When you live with the internal conviction that all is well, you begin to notice that life begins to mirror that conviction in the smallest of ways. A kind word from a stranger, a timely opportunity, an unexpected moment of clarity. These are the subtle manifestations of the law in motion, evidence that the state of your mind is a powerful attractor of the experience you desire. And when you notice these signs, rather than dismissing them as mere coincidences, you learn to read them as the language of a wise and generous universe. In the unfolding of each day, find a moment to recenter yourself. Immerse your thoughts in the blissful awareness that your desires are already realized. In that moment of reflection, all doubts fade away, replaced by the radiant conviction that everything is unfolding perfectly. The consistency of this inner discipline, the daily commitment to hold fast to the vision of fulfillment, is what turns wishful thinking into a tangible reality. Practice it in every moment. A quiet smile, a gentle breath, the subtle shift in your awareness that says, I already have all that I seek. With each such moment, you reinforce the truth that the power to create lies within you, unchallenged by external fluctuations or fleeting emotions. Let the feeling of fulfillment be your constant companion. In moments of solitude or during the bustle of daily life, call to mind the image of your desired state as if it were already yours. Allow that image to fill your senses, to evoke in you the same enthusiasm and gratitude as if you had already received it. This is the secret to living a life of creative abundance, to habitually dwell in the experience of the fulfilled dream, regardless of the current circumstance. The more you reside in this state of inner assurance, the more the world around you begins to align with it, flowing smoothly and naturally toward the expression of your desires. Do not let the whispers of negativity or the clamor of external opinions disturb the peace that arises from within when you hold this truth dear. The voices of skepticism are transient, mere echoes that fade when compared to the overwhelming resonance of your determined belief. Embrace silence as the fertile ground in which your creative thoughts take root. And when the mind begins to wander toward doubt, gently, without resistance, steer it back to the serene vision of a life where all is accomplished, all is understood, and all is in perfect order. The process of aligning with the inner truth is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice. Every day is a new opportunity to reaffirm the belief that all things are working out for you, to nurture that deep inner knowing with every thought, every emotion, and every action. It is in this daily reaffirmation that your life transforms from a series of random events into a coherent narrative, guided by your own intentionality. Over time, this persistent inner conviction blossoms into a way of being, a state of constant, joyful expectancy that colors every experience and infuses your existence with meaning. While you may sometimes encounter the resistance of circumstances that seem to contradict your inner vision, remember that these are but temporary detours. They are lessons, not verdicts. They serve to strengthen your resolve, inviting you to deepen your understanding of how the unseen dynamics of thought and feeling shape your outer reality. Each setback is a gentle reminder that the fabric of life is intricately woven with threads of both challenge and triumph, and that the sum of your experiences is always working together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Allow gratitude to be the lens through which you view every moment. Gratitude is the acknowledgement that even as you strive toward the realization of your deepest desires, the universe is already showering you with gifts, however subtle they may seem at first. Gratitude magnifies the feeling of abundance and shifts your focus to the countless blessings that are present in every breath, every heartbeat, and every encounter. By giving thanks for what is, you are also affirming that more is always on its way. And in that affirmation lies the foundation of a life lived in the constant state of fulfillment. In your interactions with others, let this state of inner certainty be evident. When you meet another soul, do so from the place of completeness, knowing that no external force can diminish the reality of your fulfilled vision. Your presence will radiate the quiet confidence of one who has already experienced the fullness of life. And as you extend this energy to those around you, you create ripples of inspiration that remind each person that their own creative power is limitless. You become, by your very way of being, a living testament to the law of fulfillment, a beacon that encourages others to trust in the power of their own imagination. As you continue on this journey, allow yourself the freedom to dream boldly, to envision a life where limitations are but illusions, and every desire is met with a corresponding manifestation. The energy that dwells within you is inexhaustible, capable of transforming even the most intricate details of your life into brilliant expressions of your highest potential. Let this truth permeate every level of your consciousness, that the power to create is not something bestowed upon you by external forces, but is an inherent, inalienable aspect of your very being. Every time you choose to operate from the belief that everything is working out for you, you are participating in the grand act of creation, and the creative power of the universe responds in kind. Immerse yourself in the practice of living as if each moment is saturated with the promise of fulfillment. Allow that promise to infuse your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Recognize that the inner world you cultivate is not separate from your outer world. It is the very blueprint upon which your reality is built. With each deliberate act of faith, you draft a new line in the story of your life, a story in which every chapter is written from the ink of unwavering certainty, and every page reflects the beauty of a destiny already embraced. The journey of living in this manner is both subtle and profound. It is an invitation to embrace the mystery of life with the assurance that all is unfolding exactly as it should. And as you surrender to this flow, you will find that the universe itself bends to the rhythm of your intention. There is an elegance in the way that reality rearranges itself to accommodate your inner decrees, a graceful dance between the seen and unseen that always leads back to the essence of your deepest desire. Allow that dance to carry you forward, each step imbued with the confidence that your destiny is not a distant aspiration, but a present and living truth. There is a certain magic that emerges when you live from the conviction that every event, every encounter, and every circumstance is orchestrated in your favor. This magic is not found in external circumstances, but in the profound alignment of your inner state with the universal law of creation. It is a resonance, a frequency that you can tune into at any moment by merely shifting your focus to the certainty of your fulfillment. Each time you do so, you reinforce the bond between your inner vision and the outer world, and you begin to see that miracles are not anomalies. They are the natural outgrowth of a life lived in harmonious alignment with the creative power that resides within. Trust in the steady, unerring flow of life. Even when the path appears winding or obscured by doubts, know that every twist and turn is a vital part of the grand design. There is purpose in every moment, a divine symmetry that ensures that all elements are coalescing to bring forth your most cherished reality. By nurturing the belief that everything is always working out for you, you engage in a daily act of self-empowerment, a profound declaration that you, in your very essence, are a creator, an architect of destiny. With each breath, each heartbeat, let that knowledge fill you and propel you forward, unfazed by the external shifts that come and go. Maintain this unwavering trust in the process, and let it be the foundation of your every action. The deeper you embed this belief into the core of your being, the more resistant you become to the illusions of scarcity and limitation. Every challenge turns into an opportunity. Every perceived setback becomes a stepping stone, a necessary element in the mosaic of a life crafted by intention and enriched by the certainty of fulfillment. This journey is not defined by the fluctuations of the outer world, but by the resolute commitment to live from a place of inner abundance and joy. Live each day with the profound awareness that you are the master of your own reality, and that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, mirrors back the truth of your inner convictions. Allow yourself the freedom to trust completely in the boundless possibilities that lie before you. In your quiet moments of reflection, revisit the vision of a life where every desire is realized, every dream celebrated, and every moment embraced with unshakable certainty. Let these reflections serve as a continuous reminder that you are already in possession of the life you seek, and that by acting in accordance with that truth, you summon into existence all the blessings that await you. As the rhythm of life ebbs and flows around you, remain steadfast in your conviction that you are the embodiment of a fulfilled vision. In every interaction, in every decision, let that understanding be the silent compass that guides you toward ever greater heights. The art of living as if everything always works out for you is not about denying the challenges that arise. It is about transcending them with the assurance that each obstacle is but an invitation to deepen your connection with that eternal creative force. And in doing so, you unlock the door to a realm where miracles are not rare occurrences, but the very fabric of your everyday existence. Let this profound certainty be the melody to which your life dances, echoing softly through the corridors of time and space. It is in that gentle, persistent tune that the universe reveals its secrets, inviting you to trust in the creative power that flows through you with every beat of your heart. Each moment of doubt is met with an equal measure of resolute faith, each whisper of uncertainty drowned out by the resounding affirmation that indeed everything is always working out for you. Embrace that truth as your constant companion and watch as the tapestry of your life unfolds in ways that exceed even your most vibrant imaginations. And so, as you hold this inner knowing close, let it shape the way you carry yourself. Let your walk become lighter, your gaze steadier, your speech laced with the certainty of one who no longer questions the unfolding of their life. For when you act from the assumption that everything works out for you, you no longer wait for signs, you become the sign. You embody the very outcome you once longed for, and in doing so, you draw to yourself the people, the events, the opportunities that must answer the vibration you emit. Do not underestimate the quiet power of persistence. It is not the grand declarations or the dramatic shifts that shape your reality most, but the daily, almost invisible alignment of thought and feeling. It is in the way you wake up and choose to smile before any reason presents itself. It is in how you greet uncertainty, not with fear, but with welcome, knowing that something wonderful must be unfolding even now, behind the scenes. Persistence is not effort, it is not struggle. It is simply the gentle, repeated return to the assumption of the wish fulfilled. You may find as you deepen in this practice that old fears will rise to the surface. Let them. Do not push them away, do not wrestle with them. Look at them with the eyes of one who knows they no longer hold power. Their presence does not mean your assumption is false, it means your assumption is working. It is displacing the old patterns, the old stories, the inherited beliefs that once ruled your reaction. As they surface, bless them and release them. Each time you do, you make more space for the new state to settle into permanence. Let your imagination become your dwelling place, not a place you visit in fleeting daydreams, but a home in which you live and breathe. Imagine with clarity, imagine with conviction, and most of all, imagine with feeling. Let the imagined scene evoke in you the same emotions you would feel if it were happening now. Let it become so real to you inwardly that you forget, even for a moment, that the outer world has not yet caught up. Because that moment, that sacred moment of pure embodiment, is the moment you impress the subconscious mind. And what is impressed there must take form. You do not need to figure out the details. The how is not your concern. Let that be handled by the deeper intelligence that governs the movement of all things. Your only task is to remain loyal to the end you have chosen. Speak as though it is done. Think from it, not of it. Rest in it. Act as one who already lives in the answered prayer. The power that brings flowers from seed, that spins galaxies in silence, is the same power that shapes your experience. It does not fail, it does not delay. It responds precisely to the image you hold within, especially when that image is felt as real. Begin to notice how your outer world shifts in response to your inner state. It may begin subtly, a stranger's kindness, an unexpected opportunity, a moment of clarity. These are not accidents, they are confirmations. The world is always echoing the contents of your consciousness, and the more you recognize these echoes, the more they multiply. Gratitude becomes your amplifier. Each time you give thanks for what has not yet appeared, you accelerate its arrival. And not because gratitude convinces the universe, but because gratitude aligns you with the reality where the desire is already yours. Live not as one seeking transformation, but as one revealing what was always within. You are not becoming worthy, you are always worthy. You are not earning your desires, you are allowing them. You are not chasing your dreams, you are remembering them. The assumption that everything is working out for you is a return to your natural state. It is the remembrance of your true identity, not a being at the mercy of circumstance, but a creator clothed in form. And when you are tempted to look outside for validation, to ask if it's working, return instead to the only true question: am I dwelling in the state of the wish fulfilled? That is the only measure that matters. If the answer is yes, then all else must follow. It is law, immutable, unquestionable. And if the answer is no, then gently shift. Do not judge. Simply return. Again, each return strengthens the foundation, until eventually the state becomes so natural that it requires no effort at all. This is not pretending, this is not fantasy. This is the most sacred truth there is, that reality is shaped from within. The inner man creates the outer world, and the state you occupy determines the shape of your world. So make it your aim to dwell in joy, to cultivate peace, to exude confidence, not because the world demands it, but because your assumption is your reality. When you dwell in the assumption of success, success becomes inevitable. When you dwell in the assumption of love, love must answer. When you dwell in the assumption that everything always works out for you, then even setbacks become setups, even delays become divine appointments, and what once looked like opposition becomes confirmation. Let this truth permeate everything. Let it color the way you speak, the way you move through your day, the way you treat yourself and others. Do not wait for the external to give you permission to feel good. Be the cause of your own happiness. Initiate the feeling. Let it rise within you, not from circumstance, but from decision. Say to yourself, even when appearances suggest otherwise, this is working for me. This is helping me. This is becoming something beautiful. And as you say it, feel it. Let it settle into your bones. Let it become the new normal. Remember that you are never alone in this work. Though the world may not understand, though even those close to you may question, the law remains true. It does not require approval. It does not depend on popularity. It requires only your agreement. And when you agree inwardly, when you say yes to the vision, yes to the desire, yes to the feeling of fulfillment, the entire universe moves on your behalf. You may not see it instantly, but you will feel it. That subtle shift, that lift in your spirit, that quiet joy that cannot be explained, that is the evidence, that is the movement. And if you persist in that state, the outer must come into harmony with it. Let your inner world become more real to you than the outer. Let your dreams take on weight and substance. Let your vision become the anchor, not the drifting waves of opinion or circumstance. And when you do, something remarkable begins to happen. You start to feel at home within yourself. You start to trust life. You stop clinging and start allowing. And in that space of relaxed confidence, things begin to unfold faster, smoother, better than you could have planned. There is a rhythm to life that you can only access when you are no longer resisting, no longer striving. It is the rhythm of ease, of flow, of divine timing. And you attune to it not by effort, but by alignment. You align by feeling as though it is already done. You align by moving as though the way is already made. You align by speaking with the calm assurance of one who knows that life is not happening to them, but through them and for them. Now, even when the outcome is not yet visible, refuse to doubt. Keep the inner image alive, tend to it like a sacred flame. Protect it from the winds of negativity, from the icy breath of logic that says you must wait to see before you believe. No, you see because you believe. You experience because you assume. The world is your mirror, and it cannot help but reflect what you hold within. So hold within you only that which you desire to see. Speak only that which you wish to live. Feel only that which aligns with your highest truth. And watch with wonder as the world reshapes itself not by force, but by faith. Not by effort, but by the silent power of assumption. Each day becomes a canvas, each moment a brushstroke. And with every thought, every feeling, you are painting a life of beauty, of abundance, of peace. You do not need to rush, you do not need to strive, you need only be. Be the one who has already received, be the one who has already arrived. And from that being, all doing becomes inspired, effortless, aligned. The people you need will find you, the opportunities will appear, the path will clear, not because you chased, but because you became. You became the version of yourself who has, who knows, who lives from the end. And if ever you forget, if ever you falter, know this, you can always begin again. The moment you shift within, the moment you return to the state of the wish fulfilled, the law responds. It does not hold grudges. It does not penalize delay. It simply reflects, always, faithfully, lovingly. So return as often as needed. And with each return, you strengthen the reality of your desire, until it is no longer a desire, but a fact, a lived experience, unshakable, undeniable, and fully yours. Because everything is always working out for you. It always has been, and it always will. There comes a moment, quiet and often unnoticed, when the assumption takes root, not because you forced it, not because you willed it into existence with strain or struggle, but because you simply grew tired of entertaining anything less. You got still. You breathed. You let go of needing proof. And in that letting go, something deeper awakened. A knowing, a calm, a sense of inevitability. This is the essence of creation, not in panic or in need, but in the still assurance that the seed already contains the tree, that your imagined life already holds the blueprint of its expression. So many look to the outer world to validate the inner, but the truth is reversed. You must validate the inner before the outer responds. You must accept it, wear it, live it within, before it can take shape without. The world is not the initiator, it is the mirror. And a mirror cannot reflect anything other than what stands before it. If you bring doubt, you'll see delay. If you bring fear, you'll meet friction. But if you bring conviction, quiet, steady, unwavering, you'll begin to see alignment, even in the most unexpected places. The evidence of change always begins subtly. A shift in how you carry yourself, a sense of peace even in uncertainty, a deeper breath, a kinder thought, a choice not to react where once you would have. These are not small. These are the tremors of transformation. For the one who changes their state changes their world, even if the world seems unchanged for a time. It is a sacred waiting, not in passivity, but in preparation. A waiting that is not empty, but full, with faith, with clarity, with the pulse of creation already underway. Let that be your discipline. Not striving, not fixing, but returning again and again to the inner state that knows it is done. All that is required now is to dwell in it, to rest in the reality of the end fulfilled. Do you want abundance? Then dwell not in lack, not in comparison, but in the consciousness of plenty. Feel the freedom of overflow, walk in it, speak from it. Do you desire love? Then dwell not in yearning, not in proving, but in the deep stillness of being already cherished, already chosen. Let every cell of your being resonate with the energy of being beloved. The mind will want to interfere. It will whisper its doubts, point to the visible, argue for its limits. Let it speak, but do not let it rule. Let it pass like a cloud across your sky, for you are not the mind. You are the awareness beneath it. And in that awareness, you choose what to entertain, what to energize, what to embody. You are not a servant to thought, you are the master. And every time you choose to remain loyal to your inner vision, despite appearances, you reclaim your authority. Understand this, there is no effort in truth. The seed does not strain to become the tree, the flower does not rush its bloom, all unfolds in rhythm, in harmony, when not resisted. When you live from the end, when you feel it real, you enter that rhythm. The right words come, the right actions rise, the timing reveals itself. And what once seemed impossible becomes the most natural thing in the world, not because you fought for it, but because you align with it. You do not have to know how your desire will arrive. You do not need to manage the unfolding. In fact, every attempt to control slows the process. Why? Because control is born of doubt. It is the child of mistrust. True faith has no need to grasp or cling. It simply knows. It leans back into the unseen and smiles. It whispers, I don't know how, but I know it is done. And in that relaxed knowing, life responds with breath. When you act as if everything always works out for you, you are not lying to yourself, you are revealing the deeper truth. The self that doubts, that fears, that scrambles for safety is not the true self. It is a mask, a construct. The true self is still sure, radiant. The true self is not threatened by appearances because it knows appearances are fleeting. It is rooted in the eternal, the unseen, the source from which all things emerge. And when you live from that place, when you think, speak, and move as that self, you become a beacon. Life begins to organize itself around your certainty. Let your imagination be your sanctuary. Return to it often. Nourish it with attention, with emotion, with repetition. Let the scene of your fulfilled desire play over and over in the theater of your mind until it becomes more familiar than the current facts, until it feels so natural, so inevitable that to doubt it would feel strange. That is how you know the shift has occurred. When believing in your vision becomes easier than doubting it, when the feeling of fulfillment is your baseline, then you are no longer waiting, you are living it. And the world, in its perfect obedience, must follow. Even when nothing seems to change, something is changing. The roots are growing before the fruit appears. The foundation is setting before the structure rises. Just because you cannot see it does not mean it is not happening. Trust the invisible, trust the process, trust yourself. For you are not here to beg for scraps of joy, you are here to claim the banquet. You are not here to earn your worth, you are here to express it. Every moment you remain faithful to that inner knowing, you are calling forth a life that matches it. Walk into every room as though the room is better because you're in it. Speak with the energy of one who expects good news. Make decisions from the version of you who already has what you desire. And when fear tries to rise, because it will, meet it not with resistance, but with remembrance. Remember who you are. Remember what you've chosen. Remember that fear is not truth. It is a passing shadow, and you are the light. There is no need to prove your worth. Your worth is inherent. You do not need to hustle to be chosen, to be seen, to be valued. You only need to know it within. And from that knowing, everything changes. Opportunities magnetize, relationships deepen, doors open, not because you forced them, but because you stopped contradicting your own power. The world cannot help but respond to your inner self-concept. And self-concept is not built by accident, it is built by intention, by repetition, by choosing again and again the identity that serves you. Who are you? Are you one for whom things just work out? Are you one who is favored, guided, blessed? Then live as that, think as that, breathe as that. Let no external situation talk you out of it. Let no delay define you. Hold to your assumption, and the outer must comply. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need to do it perfectly. You don't need to believe 100% all the time. You only need to persist. You only need to return. The law is not activated by perfection. It is activated by persistence, by the dominant assumption. The more you dwell in the state, the more you occupy it, the more it becomes who you are. And when it becomes who you are, it becomes what you see. You will look back and wonder why you ever doubted. You will laugh at the times you worried, at the moments you panicked, because you'll see that it all worked out exactly as it was meant to. Even the missteps were rerouted into miracles. Even the detours led you home. And you'll realize it was never about controlling the outcome. It was always about becoming the version of yourself who expected the outcome. So wake each day not asking, will it happen, but declaring it is done. Move not from lack, but from abundance, not from need, but from choice. And remember, the moment you assume it's already yours, life begins to organize itself to match that reality. Trust that, rest in that, walk in that. Everything is always working out for you, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because you decided it must. And once decided, once assumed, once felt, the decision becomes destiny. And so, remain steadfast in your knowing. Let this truth settle deep within you. Everything is always working out for you. Not sometimes, not occasionally, always. This is the law that governs your life when you dare to live from the end, when you dare to believe before you see, when you dare to feel before there is evidence. Your assumption is your permission. Your faith is the bridge. Your inner state is the cause. You no longer have to fight for your desires. You no longer have to prove your worth. You are the operant power. You are the one who decides what is true for you. So choose wisely. Choose boldly. Choose lovingly. And walk forward not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. Because it is done. It is yours. It always has been. Now let your life reflect the one truth that changes everything. Everything is always working out for you. My friends, tonight I tell you a great secret, a truth hidden in plain sight, waiting only for the one who dares to believe. Faith, your faith, is the master key to all that you seek, the key that unlocks the treasures of heaven and brings them into form. Without faith, the door remains shut, but with it, all things are possible. Faith is not mere hope, not a passive wish for something to come. Faith is the certainty, the knowing, the unwavering conviction that what you have asked for is already yours. It is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the formless and the formed. The world you experience is not shaped by circumstance, but by the state of your belief. You do not beg for blessings, you claim them. And when you claim them with conviction, the world must yield to your command. To live in faith is to see beyond what the eyes perceive, to hear beyond what the ears detect, to feel the reality of your desire before it takes form. When you walk by faith, you do not wait for evidence, you become the evidence. You assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and in that assumption the universe bends to make it so. This is not theory. This is law. There is no greater power than faith in the unseen, for what is unseen is the very substance of creation. The moment you accept that what you seek is already yours, the moment you rest in the assurance of its presence, it begins to materialize. You do not need to force it, for faith is not struggle. Faith is surrender. It is resting in the knowledge that God's abundance is already flowing to you. Doubt is the only thief. It is the shadow that creeps in to steal your blessings. But the one who holds fast to faith, who refuses to waver, who does not ask when or how, but instead gives thanks as if the gift is already in hand, this is the one who moves mountains. For the world outside is only a reflection of the world within. Align your inner world with the certainty of divine abundance, and the outer world will have no choice but to reflect it. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you believe. Believe, and the circumstances must change. Act as if you are already blessed, and you will see blessings overflow in ways you could never have imagined. Faith is the only currency in the kingdom of God, the only key that unlocks the limitless storehouse of divine supply. Now dare to believe, and it shall be so. Faith is not a mere word, not a passive thought, not something to be entertained only in moments of comfort. It is a living force, an unshakable power that shapes your reality. The unseen foundation of the world is built upon it. Everything you now experience, everything that has ever been made manifest in your life, is the result of faith. Whether it was faith in the good or faith in the bad, faith in abundance or faith in lack. For faith does not discriminate. It simply brings forth into reality that which you truly believe. Look around you. Every condition, every circumstance, every possession or lack thereof is the direct outgrowth of the ideas you have accepted as true. The moment you understand this, you realize that the key to transformation is not found in struggle or external effort, but in the unseen realm of belief. If you wish to change anything in your life, you must first change what you accept as true within yourself. The world is only a mirror reflecting back to you the sum total of your assumptions. You may say, but I have prayed, I have asked, I have waited, and still my blessings have not come. And I tell you, you have waited because you have doubted. You have waited because though you have spoken words of faith, in your heart you have entertained fear. You have begged for what you already possess, and in that act of begging, you have confirmed its absence. But faith does not beg, it claims. Faith does not hope, it knows. Faith does not wonder, it assumes. There is no power outside of you that decides when and how you shall be blessed. You yourself are the vessel through which divine abundance flows. You are the channel, the doorway, the means by which the infinite takes shape. God does not withhold blessings. It is only the divided mind, the uncertain heart, that blocks their manifestation. When you align with the truth that all you desire is already yours, the floodgates open. When you cease to question, when you cease to wonder, when you instead live and breathe the reality of your wish fulfilled, then and only then does it take form. Consider the farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up each day to check if it is growing. He does not despair, wondering if the harvest will come. He knows that the process is already underway, though it remains unseen beneath the soil. He waters the seed, he nurtures it, he trusts in the unseen workings of nature, and in due time the seed becomes the harvest. So too must you trust in the unseen workings of faith. Once you have planted the seed of belief, you must cease to question its growth. You must nurture it with expectation, with gratitude, with unwavering confidence that what you have claimed is already on its way. Some may say, but my circumstances tell me otherwise. My eyes see lack, my ears hear bad news, my hands grasp only emptiness. And I say to you, stop looking with the eyes of the flesh and begin to see with the eyes of the Spirit. What you now perceive is only the residue of past beliefs, the echo of old assumptions. Do not be deceived by appearances. They are but shadows cast by former thoughts. Instead, turn within. Turn to the only true reality, the unseen realm of imagination, the birthplace of all things. For what you assume to be true in the silence of your heart shall soon be made visible in the light of day. You do not need to struggle, you do not need to force, you do not need to push against the currents of life, hoping that something will change. You need only to assume, to believe, to accept as already done that which you desire. The moment you do this, the moment you embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, reality begins to shift. People, events, circumstances, all will rearrange themselves to align with your inner world. This is not chance, this is not coincidence, this is law. There is no limit to what faith can achieve. There is no request too great, no dream too vast, no desire too bold. The only limitation is the one you place upon yourself. If you believe that abundance is reserved for others, then so it shall be. If you believe that blessings come only to the fortunate, then so it shall be. But if you dare to believe that all things are yours, that you are a rightful heir to divine abundance, then nothing shall be withheld from you. The greatest mistake is to wait for external signs before believing. The one who waits remains in waiting, for the law responds only to what is assumed as true now. You must act as though you already possess the thing you desire. You must feel the joy of it, the certainty of it, the gratitude of it. And in doing so, you shift from waiting to receiving. The universe does not delay. It only mirrors back to you the state of your belief. When you pray, do not pray as one who is begging at the feet of an unwilling giver. Pray as one who speaks to a loving Father, a Father who has already provided all things, a Father who withholds nothing from his children. Speak with gratitude, not with longing. Speak with confidence, not with doubt. Speak as one who knows that the answer is already given, and it shall be so. You have been given the power to create. You have been given dominion over your world. You have been given the ability to shape your reality through faith alone. If you wish to see transformation, do not seek it outside of yourself, seek it within. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and from that kingdom flows every blessing you could ever desire. Every great achievement, every great miracle, every great movement of divine abundance has begun in the unseen, in the quiet realm of faith. Before the walls of Jericho fell, faith was spoken. Before the Red Sea parted, faith was declared. Before sight was restored to the blind, faith was received. This is the pattern, the eternal law. Faith first, manifestation second. Do not be discouraged by delays, for in truth there are no delays, only the unfolding of divine timing. What you have claimed is already yours. It is only the conditioning of your own mind that determines when and how you shall receive it. The moment you remove doubt, the moment you cast aside fear, the moment you stand unwavering in the certainty of your desire's fulfillment, the world must conform. You are not separate from God. You are not separate from the abundance you seek. The blessings you desire are not far off in some distant future. They are here now, waiting only for your acceptance. The power has been in your hands all along, and faith is the key that unlocks it. There is nothing more to seek. There is only the decision to believe, the willingness to accept, the courage to stand firm in the unseen truth. The world may call it foolishness, but those who understand know that faith is the only reality, and all else is but a reflection of its power. Now go forth and believe, not with hesitation, not with half-hearted expectation, but with the full certainty that what you desire is already yours. Let the world around you shift, let the circumstances bend, let the blessings pour forth. For the moment you assume, the moment you accept, the moment you dare to live as though the promise is already fulfilled, the abundance of God will flood into your life beyond measure. Faith is not just a fleeting thought, not just a whispered prayer in the night. It is the very essence of creation, the substance of all things seen and unseen. It is the invisible hand shaping the visible world, the power that brings the formless into form. When you understand this, you will see that your faith is not a small thing, not an abstract concept, but the very key that unlocks the doors to all the blessings you have ever desired. There is no mystery to faith, for it is always at work. It is either working for you or against you, depending on what you accept as true. If you believe in lack, if you expect struggle, if you assume difficulty, then these shall be your portion, not because they are meant for you, not because you are unworthy of better, but simply because you have placed your faith in them. And what you place your faith in must come to pass, for that is the law. The moment you shift your belief, the moment you take your faith away from limitation and place it in divine abundance, your world begins to change. Not slowly, not over the course of years, but instantly in the unseen realm, and soon after in the world of form. The delay is never in the promise. The delay is only in your willingness to believe without wavering. The more steadfast you are, the quicker the manifestation comes. Some say, "But I have been waiting for so long. I have believed, and still I have not received." And I say to you, have you truly believed? Or have you only hoped, only wished, only entertained faith for a moment before falling back into doubt? For faith is not a temporary thought, it is a state of being. It is a knowing so deep that even if all the evidence before you screams otherwise, you remain unshaken. It is the unwavering conviction that what you have asked for is already yours. You must not look at what is and let it define what will be. What is only the outpicturing of past faith, past thoughts, past assumptions. It has no power to determine what will come unless you continue to accept it as the truth. If you desire a new reality, you must look beyond appearances. You must see with the eyes of faith, hear with the ears of faith, walk in the certainty of faith. And as you do, the world will be forced to conform to your new belief. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot declare abundance and still dwell in lack. You cannot affirm health while still holding on to sickness. You cannot speak of love while believing in loneliness. The universe responds only to what you truly accept, not to what you merely say with your lips. Your outer world is the mirror of your inner world, and the moment you change within, the world outside must follow. Do not be swayed by what others say. Do not be moved by the opinions of those who have not yet understood the power of faith. They may call it foolishness, they may call it impossible, but their words hold no power unless you accept them. What they believe does not matter. Only what you believe shapes your world. If you believe in divine abundance, if you believe that God's blessings are already yours, then no force on earth can keep them from you. The great secret is this: the moment you feel the reality of your desire, the moment you rest in the assurance that it is done, you have already received it. The world may take time to catch up, but the work is finished in the unseen. Your only task is to hold firm, to remain steadfast, to refuse to entertain even the smallest doubt, for doubt is the only thing that can delay what is already yours. Faith is not something to be practiced once and forgotten. It is a way of life. It is the foundation upon which everything else stands. Each day you must renew your faith. Each moment you must align yourself with the truth that God's abundance is already flowing to you. When you do this, you become a magnet for blessings, a vessel through which divine favor overflows. Do not say, "I will believe when I see it." Say instead, "I see it now in my spirit, and so it must be." For the world does not give you what you ask for. It gives you what you expect. And expectation is nothing more than faith in action. The one who expects good receives good. The one who expects difficulty finds difficulty. Expect only the best, and the best will become your reality. You may wonder, how do I cultivate this kind of faith? How do I reach the place where I believe so deeply that nothing can shake me? And I tell you, it is not something that comes from effort. It is not something that requires struggle. It is something that simply is. You do not try to believe, you decide to believe. You do not wrestle with doubt, you dismiss it. You do not wait for proof, you become the proof. Feel now the reality of your desire. Let it fill you. Let it overflow within you. Do not look to the world for confirmation. Let the confirmation come from within. Speak as though it is already done. Walk as though it is already yours. Give thanks as though you have already received. And as surely as the sun rises, your world will shift to match your conviction. There is no power in the universe that can oppose the one who believes. There is no force strong enough to deny the one who stands unwavering in faith. For the law is absolute, and what you claim in the unseen must be made visible. The only question is, will you claim your blessings? Will you stand firm in the knowledge that they are already yours? Or will you allow fear and doubt to rob you of what has been prepared for you? Do not delay any longer. Do not wait for signs, for the sign comes after the belief, not before. Accept now that you are already blessed. Accept now that abundance is already yours. Accept now that all you have desired is already moving toward you. Stand firm in this knowing, and watch as the doors swing open, the way becomes clear, and the blessings of God pour into your life without measure. For faith is the key, and the moment you use it, the kingdom of heaven is opened unto you. Faith is not a distant hope, not a wish upon the stars, not a fragile thing that must be protected from the winds of doubt. It is the unshakable foundation upon which all things are built, the eternal law by which the seen world is formed. It is the very substance of your blessings, the force that calls forth the invisible and clothes it in form. To the one who understands this truth, there is nothing impossible, for all things respond to faith. You must not think of faith as something that comes and goes, something that must be cultivated with great effort. Faith is always present. The question is not whether you have faith, but where you have placed it. Have you placed it in lack, in struggle, in delay? Have you placed it in the words of others who say it cannot be done? Or have you placed it in the unchanging truth that God's abundance is already flowing to you, that the blessings you seek are already yours? To believe in divine abundance is not to wish for it, not to hope for it, but to accept it as the only reality. The world may say otherwise, the circumstances may try to contradict you, but the one who walks in faith does not concern themselves with appearances. They know that what is seen today is only the result of yesterday's beliefs, and that what will be seen tomorrow is being shaped by the convictions held today. The world is not fixed, it is fluid, responding at every moment to the state of your faith. Some will say, I believe, but I still see lack, I still feel struggle, I still face difficulty. And I tell you, to truly believe is not to acknowledge the absence of your desire, but to live as though it is already fulfilled. If you say, I believe, I will receive, you are still placing the blessing in the future, still separating yourself from it. But if you say, I have already received, and you feel the truth of those words within you, then you have made the claim that compels reality to respond. It is not enough to wish for abundance. It is not enough to hope for change. You must embody the state of already having. When you pray, do not pray as one who pleads with a distant God, but as one who thanks a loving Father for what is already given. Speak not as one who hopes to be blessed, but as one who knows they are blessed beyond measure. Walk not as one who waits for their desires to be fulfilled, but as one who already lives in the fulfillment of them. Faith does not ask for permission. It does not seek approval. It does not waver between belief and doubt. Faith simply is. It declares what is true and then rests, knowing that the work is already done. The moment you accept this, the moment you live in the certainty that your blessings are already flowing to you, you will see that reality itself bends to accommodate your belief. Doubt is the only thief, the only barrier, the only delay. It whispers, but what if it does not come? It asks, what if I am wrong? And in giving it attention, you give it power. The one who doubts today will doubt tomorrow, and in that doubt they create delay after delay, waiting for a sign, waiting for proof, when all along the proof was within them. You must silence the voice of doubt with the voice of knowing. You must say it is done, and refuse to entertain even the slightest hesitation. Do not measure your faith by what your eyes see. Do not measure your progress by the movement of external circumstances. Measure it by the certainty in your heart, by the peace that comes from knowing that what you have claimed in faith cannot be denied. The world may shake, circumstances may shift, people may say it is impossible, but none of that matters. What you have accepted as true in faith is already on its way to you. The only question is, will you stand firm in that knowing, or will you allow appearances to sway you? Some will say, but I have believed before, and still I have not seen the blessings I desired. And I tell you, belief is not a momentary thing. It is not a fleeting thought. It is not something you hold for a time and then let go. It must become your state of being, the very air you breathe, the foundation upon which you stand. If you have not received, it is not because faith has failed, but because you have allowed doubt to creep in, because you have looked too long at what is instead of standing firm in what must be. You must see yourself as already blessed. You must walk each day as if your desires have already been fulfilled. You must speak, not as one who is waiting, but as one who has already received. And when the world asks, where is your proof? You must smile, for you know that the proof will come only after the belief is established, never before. The seed does not prove itself the moment it is planted. The farmer does not wait for signs before trusting in the harvest. He knows that the growth is already happening beneath the soil, unseen but inevitable. So too must you trust in the unseen workings of faith. Your task is not to struggle, not to force, not to beg for what is already yours. Your task is to believe so completely, so unwaveringly, that the world has no choice but to conform. If you can do this, if you can walk in faith each day without questioning, without doubting, without looking to the world for confirmation, then you will see miracles unfold before you. You will see doors open where there were none. You will see provision appear when it was least expected. You will see the world shift to match the state of your belief. And when the blessings come, do not say, it was chance, it was luck, it was coincidence. Know that it was always yours, always waiting for you to claim it. Know that faith was the key that unlocked the door, and when the next challenge arises, do not return to doubt, do not return to hesitation, stand even firmer in the truth. For now you have seen with your own eyes what faith can do. You are not meant to live in struggle, you are not meant to live in lack. You are not meant to live as one who hopes for blessings but never receives them. You are meant to walk in divine abundance, to live as one who is constantly receiving, constantly overflowing, constantly expanding into greater and greater expressions of God's limitless love. The moment you accept this, the moment you refuse to entertain any thought that contradicts it, the moment you decide that faith is the only reality you will acknowledge, your life will be transformed beyond measure. Do not wait any longer. Do not hesitate. Do not look to the world for proof before believing. Believe now, claim now, give thanks now, and as surely as the dawn follows the night, your blessings will flow to you in ways beyond anything you could have imagined. Faith is the key, and the door is already open. Walk through it and receive what has been waiting for you all along. Faith is not the hope that something might come to pass. It is the absolute conviction that it already has. It does not wait for the world to change before believing. It believes, and the world changes as a result. There is no waiting in faith, no hesitation, no wondering when or how. Faith does not seek confirmation from the senses. It is its own confirmation. To walk in faith is to stand in the full assurance that all you have asked for is already yours, that the blessings of God are already flowing to you even before you see a single sign. You must not measure the power of faith by what is visible. The seen world is but a reflection of past beliefs, a delayed shadow of what has already been established in the unseen. Do not mistake the present condition for truth. It is only the remnant of old assumptions. If you wish to see something new, you must first believe in the unseen reality of it. You must hold fast to the inner conviction that your desire is already fulfilled, and in doing so you call it forth into existence. You do not need to fight, to struggle, to prove yourself worthy. The blessings of God are not earned, nor are they given sparingly. They are already yours by divine right. There is no need to plead, no need to beg, no need to convince anyone, for the abundance of God is already flowing toward you in unlimited measure. The only requirement is that you believe, that you accept, that you stand firm in the certainty that you are already blessed. Doubt is the only hindrance, the only obstacle, the only barrier between you and your blessings. Doubt is the voice that whispers, but what if it does not happen? And in entertaining that voice you create resistance. Faith allows, faith trusts, faith rests in the assurance that what has been declared in the Spirit must come to pass in the physical world. The moment you remove doubt, the moment you refuse to give it any place in your mind, the blessings that have been waiting for you are free to flow. Some will say, but I have believed before and still I have not received. And I tell you, true belief is not temporary, not something held for a moment and then abandoned. It is a state of being, an unshakable knowing. If you find yourself wavering, questioning, wondering if what you desire will ever come, then your faith is not yet complete. You must move beyond hope, beyond wishing, beyond temporary belief, into the unshakable conviction that what you have claimed is already yours. Look at the great miracles, the great manifestations, the great works of faith that have been recorded throughout time. Not one of them was the result of hesitation. Not one of them came from a mind that wavered between belief and doubt. They were all brought forth by those who stood firm, who refused to accept any reality other than the one they had claimed in faith. The same law applies to you. The same power is within you. The same ability to call forth blessings from the unseen into the seen is already yours. The only question is, will you believe without wavering? Do not wait for conditions to change before you believe. Believe, and the conditions must change. Do not wait for a sign before you claim your blessings. Claim them now, and the signs will follow. The law is absolute. As you believe, so shall it be done unto you. There is no exception, no special circumstance, no situation too difficult. The moment you fully accept that your desires are already fulfilled, the moment you cease questioning and stand in the certainty of it, the entire universe moves to bring it to pass. Faith is not a matter of effort. It is not a forceful attempt to will something into being. It is not a battle against circumstances. Faith is rest. Faith is ease. Faith is the quiet knowing that what you have asked for is already done. It is the ability to live each day in peace, without anxiety, without doubt, without the need for external validation. It is the assurance that your blessings are already on their way, even if you see no evidence of them yet. You must not allow the world to dictate what is possible for you. You must not accept the limitations that others impose. You must not look at circumstances and allow them to define what you can or cannot have. Faith is the rejection of limitation, the refusal to accept anything less than the fullness of God's abundance. The moment you decide that you are already blessed, that you already possess all that you desire, that there is no power that can keep your blessings from you, that is the moment you step into the fullness of faith. You do not need to understand how it will happen. The how is not your concern. Your only task is to believe, to accept, to stand firm in the knowing that it is already done. The path will reveal itself. The way will be made clear. The necessary steps will unfold before you, but none of that will happen until you first accept that it is already yours. This is the great secret, the hidden key to unlocking the abundance of God. The moment you claim it, it is already done. There is no limitation except the one you accept. There is no delay except the one you create. There is no obstacle except the doubt that you allow to remain in your mind. The moment you remove all hesitation, all fear, all questioning, the moment you decide that faith is the only reality, your world must shift to reflect that truth. The universe has no choice but to conform to the state of your belief. Live now as though your blessings have already been received. Speak now as though you are already walking in divine abundance. Give thanks now as though every desire has already been fulfilled. And in doing so, you will see that faith is not something that merely hopes for a future blessing. It is the present reality that brings all things into being. Faith does not ask when, it declares now. Faith does not wonder if, it proclaims it is done. The world may try to tell you otherwise. Circumstances may attempt to shake you. The voices of doubt may whisper in your ear. But none of these things have any power unless you give it to them. Stand firm in your conviction. Do not waver. Do not allow the illusion of delay to convince you that your blessings are not already on their way. Know with absolute certainty that all you have asked for is already yours, that God's abundance is already flowing to you, that nothing can stand in the way of the fulfillment of your desires. This is the truth that transforms lives. This is the law that governs all things. This is the secret that has been known by those who have walked in divine favor throughout history. Faith is not a distant dream, not an empty hope, not a mere possibility. It is the unbreakable law of creation. the very power by which all things come into being. The moment you accept this, the moment you refuse to entertain any thought that contradicts it, the moment you stand unwavering in the knowing that you are already blessed, that is the moment your world will change. Do not hesitate, do not delay, do not wait for permission from the world to believe in what is already yours. Step now into the fullness of faith. Accept now the blessings that have been waiting for you. Declare now that all you have asked for is already fulfilled, and as surely as the sun rises, as surely as the seasons change, as surely as night follows day, your faith will bring forth abundance beyond anything you have ever imagined. Faith is the key, and the door is already opened. Walk through it now and receive all that has been waiting for you. You must see yourself as already possessing every good thing you desire. Do not wait for it to appear before you claim it. Do not ask whether it is possible. Do not wonder if you are worthy. All that exists is already yours by divine inheritance. The only question is, will you accept it? Will you take hold of it with unwavering faith? Or will you continue to allow doubt and fear to keep you from what has already been prepared for you? The one who walks in faith does not ask for signs. They know that signs will follow belief, not precede it. They do not wait for proof before they claim their blessings. They do not look at circumstances and determine their worth based on what they see. They know that the unseen is the true reality, and that the seen world must always conform to the convictions held in faith. You must move beyond the mind that seeks evidence. You must move beyond the eyes that look for confirmation. You must trust so completely in the unseen reality of your blessings that nothing in this world can shake you. It is not enough to say you believe. You must live in the full assurance that all you desire is already accomplished. When you speak, speak as one who already has. When you act, act as one who is already blessed. When you pray, pray as one who is giving thanks for what is already done, not as one who is pleading for what they hope to receive. The power of faith is not in the words you speak, but in the conviction behind them. It is not in the actions you take, but in the certainty with which you take them. It is not in the appearance of your current circumstances, but in your ability to look beyond them and see only the reality of what you have claimed. The world may say one thing, but if your faith says another, the world must change. This is the law. Do not be deceived by appearances. They are but a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. They are not fixed, they are not permanent, they are not immovable. They can shift in an instant, the moment you decide to believe in something greater. The one who understands this is never troubled by what they see, for they know that what they see today is only a reflection of yesterday's thoughts, and what they will see tomorrow depends entirely on what they believe today. So do not place your faith in what is, place your faith in what must be. Do not look at the lack and call it real, look at the abundance within you and call it forth. Do not acknowledge struggle and give it power, acknowledge only the ease, the flow, the divine favor that is already yours. If you refuse to accept anything less than the fullness of God's blessings, then that is all you will receive. The power of your faith is limitless. There is no situation too difficult, no circumstance too dire, no desire too great. The only limitation is the one you place upon yourself. If you believe that something is beyond your reach, then it will remain so. If you believe that you are unworthy, then you will not receive. But the moment you cast aside these false limitations, the moment you decide that you are worthy, that you are already blessed, that there is nothing standing between you and your desires, then the floodgates of divine abundance will open. Some may look at their lives and say, but my struggles are real, my hardships are real, my lack is real. And I tell you, they are real only because you have given them power. They exist because you have accepted them as truth. The moment you decide to believe in something greater, they must fade away. The moment you refuse to entertain them as reality, they must dissolve. Your faith is the only determining factor. It is not the world that dictates your blessings, it is you. Do not say, I will believe when I see it. Say instead, I see it now, and so it must be. Feel it now, claim it now, live in the joy of it now. If you can do this, if you can hold this conviction without wavering, then nothing can stand between you and the manifestation of your desires. The world itself will shift to accommodate your belief. Faith is not about waiting for the right moment. It is not about hoping that one day things will change. It is about knowing that they have already changed, that the moment you claimed your blessing, it was already done. Time is only a veil, an illusion that separates you from the immediate reality of your desires. The stronger your faith, the thinner this veil becomes, until finally what was once unseen is made visible before your very eyes. You do not need to struggle for what is already yours. You do not need to chase what is already on its way to you. You need only to align yourself with the reality of your blessings, to step into the version of yourself that already has them. Speak like one who is blessed, walk like one who is blessed, think like one who is blessed, and soon the world will have no choice but to reflect back to you the truth that you have already claimed. Do not entertain doubt for even a moment. Do not allow it a foothold in your mind. The instant you begin to question, you introduce resistance. The instant you wonder when or how, you create delay. But the one who knows, the one who believes without question, the one who stands firm in faith without needing proof, this is the one who sees miracles unfold effortlessly. The universe moves for the one who does not doubt. You have been given the power to create, the power to manifest, the power to shape your world according to your belief. This is not a gift given to a select few. It is a gift given to all who will use it. It is not reserved for the fortunate, the lucky, or the chosen. It is available to anyone who dares to believe. The moment you decide that this power is yours, the moment you refuse to accept anything less than divine abundance, the moment you stand in the knowing that all you desire is already yours, the world must respond. Do not seek permission to be blessed. Do not wait for others to agree with your vision. Do not ask for approval from a world that does not yet understand the power of faith. Claim what is yours now. Speak it into existence now. Live as though it is already done, and soon you will see the evidence of your belief all around you. You are not meant to live in lack. You are not meant to struggle. You are not meant to wonder when your blessings will arrive. They are already here. The only thing standing between you and them is the depth of your faith. If you believe completely, without hesitation, without fear, without doubt, then nothing can keep them from you. So step into the fullness of your faith now. Refuse to accept anything less than what is rightfully yours. Declare your blessings, speak them into being, live in the joy of already having received, and as surely as night turns to day, as surely as the seasons change, as surely as the law of faith is unbreakable, your world will shift to reflect your conviction. You are already blessed. You are already abundant. You are already standing in the favor of God. There is nothing more to wait for, nothing more to seek. Only to believe, to accept, to live in the fullness of faith. And as you do, the abundance of God will pour into your life beyond measure, in ways greater than you have ever imagined. Faith is the key, and the door is already opened. Step through it now and receive what has been waiting for you all along. There is no separation between you and the blessings you seek. There is no distance, no obstacle, no delay except the one you create in your own mind. The moment you recognize that you are not waiting for abundance, but that abundance is waiting for you to claim it, everything changes. The moment you stop seeing yourself as someone who must strive, who must struggle, who must prove their worthiness before receiving, you will step into the reality of your true power. You are already worthy. You are already chosen. You are already in possession of every good thing you could ever desire. It is only a matter of aligning your mind with that truth, of walking in the certainty that what you have declared in faith is already yours. Faith is not a process of convincing yourself. It is not a game of repeating words without conviction, hoping that if you say something enough times, it will one day become true. Faith is not a magic formula. It is the very law of creation itself. The world does not respond to empty words. It responds to the inner conviction with which those words are spoken. It is not enough to affirm abundance while secretly believing in lack. It is not enough to declare success while fearing failure. You must believe with every fiber of your being that what you desire is already done, that it is already present, that it already belongs to you. Do not look to the world for evidence before you believe. The world is only a mirror, a reflection of your inner world. If you wait for proof before believing, you will wait forever, for the proof only appears after faith has been fully accepted. The moment you declare it is already mine and live as though it is, the world must rearrange itself to reflect that truth. It has no choice. The law is unbreakable. The only delay is the hesitation within you, the moments when you question, the moments when you allow old beliefs to creep back in. But the instant you remove doubt completely, the instant you refuse to entertain anything except the reality of your blessing, it will manifest before you. Some will ask, but what if I fail? What if I believe and nothing happens? And I say to you, there is no failure except in the refusal to believe. There is no risk in faith, no loss in standing firm in your conviction. The only true failure is in doubting your own power, in turning away from the truth that you are the creator of your experience. Every great movement of divine abundance has been accomplished by those who refused to entertain the idea of failure, those who saw only the reality of what they desired and would not accept anything less. The same is true for you. The same law applies to you. You are not an exception, for faith excludes no one. It is the gift given to all who will use it. When you ask not as one who is begging, but as one who is claiming what already belongs to them. When you declare not as one who is uncertain, but as one who is simply stating a fact. When you walk not as one who is waiting, but as one who is already in possession of their desires. The world does not question those who move with certainty, those who expect blessings, those who carry themselves as though they are already standing in divine favor. It only responds to them, it must obey them, for they have aligned themselves with the higher law of faith. You do not need to convince anyone else. You do not need approval from the world. You do not need anyone to agree with you. You only need to agree with yourself. If you believe, then that is enough. If you know beyond all doubt that what you desire is already yours, then nothing else matters. No one else's opinion has any power over you unless you allow it to. No external circumstance can stand in your way unless you give it permission. The only authority in your world is your own faith. And when you stand in that faith, unwavering and absolute, the world will have no choice but to conform. Some will try to tell you that things take time, that you must be patient, that you must work hard, that you must earn your blessings. But I tell you, time is an illusion. Hard work is not the key. Effort alone does not create abundance. What does? The absolute certainty that it is already yours. The one who believes in delay will experience delay. The one who believes they must struggle will experience, but the one who believes that all things are already finished, that what they have claimed in faith is already present, will see it materialize before them with ease. Faith does not require effort, it requires surrender. Surrender not to the world, not to circumstances, not to limitations, but to the truth that what is unseen is more real than what is seen, that what is within you is greater than what is outside of you, that the moment you declare something is true and refuse to waver, the universe itself will move to make it so. There is no force strong enough to resist true faith, no obstacle that can stand in its way, no delay that can hold back what has already been declared in certainty. So do not wait, do not hesitate, do not ask when or how, simply declare it is done and let that be enough. Live as though it is already true. Let every thought, every action, every word reflect the reality of your blessing. And as surely as the stars shine in the night sky, as surely as the tides follow the moon, as surely as the seasons change, your faith will bring forth what has already been waiting for you. Do not entertain fear. Do not entertain doubt. Do not look at circumstances and allow them to dictate what is possible. The moment you do, you begin to undo what your faith has already set in motion. Stand firm, stand unwavering, stand in the absolute certainty that all things are already given to you. And in doing so, you will see miracles unfold. You will see doors open. You will see abundance pour into your life in ways that defy all logic, all reason, all expectation. You are not separate from God. You are not separate from divine abundance. You are not separate from the blessings you seek. They are already yours. You are already chosen. You are already standing in favor. The only thing left is for you to believe it so completely that the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. This is not theory, this is law, this is truth. And those who understand it, those who apply it, those who refuse to waver in their conviction, will see their lives transformed beyond measure. It has already been given. The only thing left is for you to receive. Receive it now, accept it now. Walk in the fullness of your blessings now, and as you do, the kingdom of heaven will be made manifest in your life, overflowing, abundant, without measure. Faith is the key. The door is open. Walk through it now, and take hold of what has been waiting for you all along. And so I tell you now, there is nothing more to wait for. There is no more permission to seek, no more proof to require, no more hesitation to entertain. The blessings you desire, the abundance you seek, the divine favor that has always been yours is already here. It has been waiting for you to step into the fullness of faith, to claim it as your own, to accept it without question, without doubt, without resistance. You are not a beggar before God. You are not one who must struggle to be worthy. You are an heir to infinite abundance, a vessel through which divine power flows, a creator of your reality through the simple act of belief. The only task before you is to decide, will you continue to live as though you are separate from your blessings, or will you embrace the truth that they are already yours? If you believe fully, without fear, without hesitation, without allowing the world to sway you, then nothing can stand in your way. The universe must yield to the one who walks in faith. The doors must open, the way must be made clear, the blessings must pour forth. This is the law. This is the truth. This is the key that unlocks all things. So go now, not as one who hopes, but as one who knows, not as one who waits, but as one who has already received. Walk in faith, speak in faith, live in faith, and as surely as the stars shine above, as surely as the sun rises each day, as surely as the divine presence within you is limitless and unfailing, your world will transform. For faith is the key, and the door is already open. Step through it now and receive what has been waiting for you all along.